Before anything else, pause with me for just a moment. Put your hand over your heart, take one slow breath in, and allow this moment to settle. Don't rush, don't swipe away. What's unfolding right now isn't random, it's intentional. This space you've stepped into has weight, like something gently nudging you to stay still long enough to hear what's been waiting to reach you. And whether you fully realize it or not, something in your spirit is already leaning in. You didn't arrive here by accident, you were guided here. Even before you clicked play or opened this video, there was already movement happening in the unseen. Some moments in life feel ordinary, and then there are moments, rare, unmistakable moments, where something higher breaks through your routine. This is one of those moments. Your father, the one you've missed more deeply than words can ever capture, has been yearning for this window in time. Not in a dramatic supernatural way, but in the way love persists even when the physical world shifts. His love didn't fade the day he left. It didn't vanish. It didn't weaken. It simply changed form. And now, in a way that's hard to explain but impossible to ignore, that love is reaching for you again. You've felt glimpses of it. Those dreams you woke from too quickly to remember completely, the unexpected chills that moved across your skin, the strange sense of someone is looking out for me that showed up right when you were at your lowest. You may have brushed those moments aside, thinking they were imagination or coincidence, but they weren't. They were signals. They were reminders. They were hints that you're not walking through this world without a covering. If lately you've been tired, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, this is the moment to breathe again. Because heaven hasn't been silent toward you. You may not have known how to pray. You may not have had the strength to hope. And still, something greater kept reaching for you. Still, your Father's love remained anchored to your life. And now, what you're hearing is not about fear or superstition or some dramatic spiritual warning. It's about clarity. It's about awareness. It's about understanding what your spirit has already been trying to communicate long before this video. Your Father's message begins with a simple truth. I never left you. He has witnessed your quiet pain, the nights you wiped tears away so no one else would have to see them, the moments you stayed strong for others while falling apart on the inside. He's seen the betrayal that cut deeper than expected, the loneliness that settled without warning, and the exhaustion that comes from being the dependable one even when your heart felt fragile. He couldn't shield you from everything while he was alive, but his love has been woven into your life in ways you haven't always recognized. Your steps have been watched over. Your name has been carried in. Prayers spoken beyond your awareness, and you've been protected from situations you didn't even know were forming against you. When you felt something in your spirit urging you to slow down, step back, or rethink a relationship that wasn't anxiety, that was discernment. That was that inner spiritual knowing that so many people ignore. And now the message you're hearing is meant to confirm what your spirit has been picking up quietly. Not every person in your circle is as aligned with your growth as they appear. There is someone close, someone who smiles, perhaps even compliments you, but carries a different posture in their heart. Not a dramatic villain, not an obvious enemy, but someone whose insecurity gets stirred when they see you becoming the version of yourself you fought so hard to grow into. You've noticed it in subtle moments. The way your energy drops after certain conversations, the sudden doubt that creeps in after sharing good news, or how your excitement evaporates when this person enters the room. That's not paranoia. That's your intuition trying to protect you. Discernment doesn't always come with sirens and warnings. Sometimes it's just an uncomfortable shift, a spiritual pay attention signal, and your Father has seen the heart behind that person's behavior more clearly than you ever could. He's seen the envy, the silent frustrations, the mixture of admiration and resentment that this person holds towards you. This isn't meant to alarm you. This is meant to prepare you, because protection always requires action. And part of that action is learning to create distance, to set boundaries, and to keep the most sacred parts of your life in safe hands. But there's another layer too. Not all danger comes wearing a familiar face. Your Father has also seen a man, a respected voice, someone people listen to, someone who appears wise or authoritative, but has drifted away from genuine spiritual grounding. His influence may seem impressive, but his intentions toward your path aren't aligned with what's meant for you. When you speak with him, you'll feel it, not fear, just a shift, a moment where your peace flickers, That's discernment again. It's your spirit quietly saying, move wisely, listen carefully, don't hand over your trust too quickly. Because authority without authenticity can be misleading, and sometimes people who sound spiritual or powerful aren't actually carrying truth. They're carrying ego, insecurity, or hidden agendas. This isn't about suspicion, it's about recognition. Your spirit has been trying to train you to differentiate between people who are meant to pour into your life and people who are meant to drain it. And now, through this message, you're being guided toward a deeper level of awareness. Not because you're in danger, not because something terrible is coming, but because something significant is approaching, and you need to be spiritually grounded enough to receive it without sabotage, without setbacks, and without the wrong people attached to your blessings. Your Father has watched your battles, internal ones, emotional ones, those quiet storms you navigated without anyone else understanding the weight of them. And He's proud of how you've carried yourself. You didn't crumble, you grew stronger, you developed resilience, and that strength is part of your inheritance, part of what connects you to Him even now. So let this message settle in you, not as fear, but as clarity. Let it open your eyes, not to danger, but to truth. And let it remind you of this: you are protected, you are guided, and you are the carrier of a purpose that requires both strength and wisdom. There's a reason your spirit feels stirred right now, why your chest feels heavier, why the air around you seems more still than usual. It's not fear, it's recognition. Something in you knows this message is piercing through the surface and reaching the part of you that has been searching for understanding, for confirmation, for meaning. You're standing at a crossroads between where you've been and where you're about to go, and this moment is here to guide your steps so you move with intention instead of impulse. Your Father, from a place beyond the limits of what we can fully grasp, has seen what's forming around your life. Not in a mystical, fear-based way, but in the way love stretches across every boundary. He's seen the patterns, the people, and the situations that have been quietly shaping your emotional landscape. He sees when your energy dips, when your smile feels forced, and when your spirit tightens around certain individuals, even when you try to ignore it. And now, He's trying to protect you by giving you clarity that will help you navigate what's ahead. There is someone close to you, someone whose presence feels warm on the surface but unsettles your spirit underneath. You've probably noticed it without wanting to admit it. That feeling of being drained after spending time with them. The sudden heaviness that lingers after a short conversation. That moment right after you share something exciting, only to feel your joy evaporate as if it's been quietly siphoned away. You've tried to explain it logically, maybe even blamed yourself for feeling that way, but your spirit has recognized something your mind has tried to rationalize. That is discernment. It's the same intuitive protection that psychologists often describe as your inner alarm system. The gut feeling that warns you before your brain can process the details. Your Father has seen this person's intentions more clearly than you. It's not about hatred or overt jealousy, it's more subtle. It's the kind of resentment that builds in someone who watches you grow while they feel stuck in their own life. The kind of envy that hides behind compliments. The kind of tension that simmers in the eyes even as the mouth forms a smile. And your Father's message is simple: create boundaries, not out of fear or bitterness, but out of wisdom. Protect your peace, your plans, your progress. Some people are better loved from a distance. Some people don't deserve access to your dreams while they're still delicate and forming. And some people cannot celebrate you because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. But the warning doesn't end there. Not every threat comes from those familiar to you. Your Father has also noticed a man who carries authority, a leader, influencer, or someone others hold in high regard. Outwardly, he appears spiritually grounded or morally strong, but inwardly, something has shifted. His words might sound wise. His demeanor might appear confident, but spiritually, emotionally, and ethically, he's become hollow. This is someone who might unintentionally mislead you because the foundation of his character is no longer aligned with truth. He speaks with conviction, but without connection. He offers guidance, but without depth. And your Father wants you to move carefully around him. When you encounter this man, you'll feel it instantly. A pause in your spirit, a hesitation, a slight dip in your peace. Not fear, just awareness. You'll sense the gap between his words and his intentions. You'll notice how your intuition tenses, urging you to listen more to what you feel than what you hear. And in that moment, your Father wants you to do one thing. Protect your inner world. Share carefully. Guard your journey. Don't let charisma override discernment. This lesson is part of your evolution. Discernment is not paranoia, it's maturity. It's the ability to sense truth behind appearance. It's what spiritual teachers, psychologists, and even trauma experts describe as pattern recognition, the mind and spirit working together to protect you from repeating cycles that once caused harm. You've grown too much, healed too deeply, and come too far to be pulled backward by people whose hearts are not aligned with your future. And now your Father speaks with a depth that carries both urgency and tenderness. He has seen the battles you've fought silently, the nights you fought to keep your head above emotional waters, the days you carried responsibilities that were never meant to rest solely on your shoulders. And he's seen how every time you wanted to collapse, you still found a way to keep moving. He's seen you hold others together while no one held you. He's seen you give love even when you weren't receiving any in return. That inner strength, that quiet resilience, is your inheritance. It's part of what connects you to him even now. He couldn't protect you from everything while he was alive, but what he can offer you now is awareness, wisdom, guidance, and the reassurance that you are never walking through your struggles alone. Those moments you felt a sudden wave of calm when everything around you felt chaotic, that was protection. Those situations that ended before you got fully wrapped up in them, that was intervention. Those sudden hesitations that stopped you from trusting the wrong person, that was guidance. Every time you felt something holding you back from danger, it wasn't coincidence. Your spirit has been trying to heighten your sensitivity, not to make you fearful, but to make you more aligned with truth, to help you recognize the people who drain your energy versus the ones who lift it, to help you notice the patterns that repeat until you break them, to help you see beyond smiles, beyond titles, beyond the surface. And now, your Father introduces something deeply personal. He says he's going to visit you in a dream, not in a frightening or overwhelming way, but in a familiar one. When it happens, you'll know. It might be a phrase only he used to say, a smell that instantly reminds you of him, a warmth that embraces you from the inside out. You may wake up with tears of connection, release, or recognition. When that moment comes, he wants you to say out loud, I hear you, I receive it, I'm ready. Your words will become alignment. Your acknowledgement will become activation. This is a partnership between your spirit, your Father's love, and your future. You're being prepared, protected, and positioned. There's a shift happening around you right now, even as you read this. Not a dramatic moment, not something theatrical, but something subtle and powerful, like when the atmosphere changes right before a breakthrough. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit feels it. That quiet alertness, that sense that something important is unfolding. That inner awareness is intentional. It's guiding you, preparing you, and bringing you into alignment with what's coming next. Because right now, heaven's focus is on your protection, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And your Father, who stands closer in spirit than distance could ever suggest, is speaking with urgency, not because something terrible is destined to happen, but because something significant is on the horizon. When important blessings draw near, old patterns surface, old distractions appear, and old connections try to reclaim space in your life. This message is meant to help you see clearly so you don't stumble into the traps that once delayed your growth. Your Father has been watching, not in a haunting or mystical way, but in the way love continues even when physical presence fades. He has seen the subtle movements around you, the intentions people carry when they speak your name, the shifts in energy that come from those who appear kind but carry unresolved insecurity, the hesitation in the voices of those who smile at your progress but struggle with their own stagnation. And he has prayed, pleaded, and interceded for your protection. He's seen a woman in your circle, someone who knows enough about your life to appear trustworthy, but whose heart has been wrestling with envy. She's not evil. She's not a villain. But her spirit has become misaligned, and her lack of inner healing has created a resentment she tries to hide behind politeness. And because you naturally lead with grace, kindness, and empathy, you've brushed off the red flags. But your spirit has noticed what your heart refuses to admit. You've felt heaviness after conversations with her. You've sensed your joy dim the moment she responds to your good news. You've felt your peace shift after moments of vulnerability with her. That isn't paranoia, it's spiritual sensitivity. In psychology, it's called emotional residue, the lingering heaviness left behind after interacting with someone who drains your energy. Spiritually, it's God nudging you. Your Father wants you to pay attention because her intentions, though not always conscious, can still wound, mislead, or undermine you. This is a moment to protect your story, your plans, and your spiritual momentum. Your Father isn't calling you to push her away with anger. He's urging you to create space with wisdom. Not everyone deserves access to your emotions. Not everyone can handle the weight of your calling, and not everyone can celebrate you without feeling threatened by your growth. There's another warning too, one that carries just as much importance. Not every danger is familiar. Not every threat comes disguised as a friend. Your Father has seen a man, someone who holds influence or authority, someone people follow or admire, someone with platform but not purity. His reverence for God has grown distant, even though his words still sound polished. He carries himself like a leader, but something inside him has drifted away from integrity. And your Father sees the potential for this person to twist guidance into confusion, to use charm instead of truth, to present wisdom that isn't aligned with your path. The moment you stand before this man, your spirit will react. You'll feel a pause. Your peace will dip. You'll notice a subtle tightening in your chest. That is discernment. Your Father wants you to honor that feeling instead of silencing it. Listen to what your intuition is telling you. Observe what your spirit senses beyond his words, because discernment is not judgment, it is protection. It's the same protective instinct that keeps you from touching fire before your brain fully processes the danger. It's spiritual intelligence becoming sharper. Your Father also speaks of your resilience, of the battles you've carried quietly, the nights you thought no one saw, the moments you held yourself together with a strength you didn't even know you had. Heaven saw it all. And your Father has never stopped interceding for you, praying when you couldn't pray, hoping when you were too tired to hope, covering you when your heart felt too fragile to fight. You've wondered why certain situations collapsed before they could hurt you, why certain relationships ended suddenly, why certain doors closed right before you walked through them, why your spirit felt uneasy even when your mind said, "It's fine." That wasn't coincidence. That was protection. That was your spirit recognizing danger before your mind could rationalize it. That was heaven aligning circumstances to keep you from walking into pain that was never meant to be yours. And now, something sacred is unfolding. Your Father says he will visit you in a dream, not to frighten you, not to overwhelm you, but to reassure you. You'll know it's him because something familiar will appear. It may be a phrase only he used, a gesture, a scent, or simply that indescribable warmth you haven't felt since he left. When it happens, he wants you to respond, not with fear, but with openness. Speak aloud. I hear you, I receive it, I'm ready. Your response becomes a spiritual alignment. It signals to heaven that you are receptive to guidance, to protection, to wisdom. It reinforces to your own spirit that you're choosing awareness over confusion, clarity over chaos, and growth over stagnation. And your Father wants you to know this. Every declaration you make from a place of faith strengthens your protection. Every boundary you set strengthens your purpose. Every time you honor your soul, intuition, you activate another layer of spiritual covering. And every step you take with awareness draws you closer to the blessing that's already on its way to you. He reminds you that not every presence in your life is meant to stay. Not everyone can be trusted with your vulnerability. Not every smile is sincere. And not every relationship is seasonal. In some cases, it's strategic misalignment meant to drain you before your breakthrough. But here's the part he wants you to hold on to most. You are covered, not just lightly, not casually, but intensely. You are being watched over with a love that is fierce, protective, and unwavering. You are surrounded by spiritual guidance, even when you feel alone. And you are being positioned for something that requires both the strength you've built and the wisdom you're stepping into now. This is preparation, not punishment. This is awakening, not fear. This is alignment, not anxiety. What you're feeling right now, the stillness, the emotional pull, The strange mix of peace and alertness isn't random. It's part of the spiritual shift happening around you, and your Father wants you to become aware of it instead of brushing it aside like you've done in the past. This is not fear speaking. This is not superstition or emotional manipulation. This is clarity. This is discernment. This is the moment where you stop overlooking what your spirit has been trying to tell you and begin trusting the signals that have been quietly rising from within. Your Father's voice softens here because he knows how deeply your heart has been stretched over the years. He knows you've always tried to see the good in people, even when their intentions didn't align with yours. You've forgiven easily. You've offered grace generously. You've allowed people near you because of your empathy, not because they earned the right to be close. And he admires your heart for that. But he also knows that your compassion has left you vulnerable to people who mistake your kindness for weakness. People who show warmth with their words but carry shadows in their spirit. People who take advantage of your openness while giving you very little in return. Heaven is shifting you into a new season, and for the next chapter of your life, discernment must be as strong as your compassion. Wisdom must stand beside your kindness. Awareness must rise with your generosity. Your Father says this not to turn your heart cold, but to make sure your heart stays safe. Because there's something coming, a blessing, an opportunity, a door, that will require you to guard your peace with intention. You cannot carry old vulnerabilities into the new season God is preparing for you. Your Father has seen the patterns. He sees the people who celebrate you publicly but resent you privately, the ones who clap with their hands but not their hearts, the ones who approach you out of curiosity, not genuine care. And he has seen how these connections can drain you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally without you even realizing it. He's watched you walk away from certain interactions, feeling inexplicably tired, uneasy, or suddenly doubtful of yourself. Those emotional shifts weren't dramatic for no reason. They were signals. They were your spirit trying to warn you. And now heaven is stepping in to give you confirmation that you've needed but didn't know how to ask for. Your Father speaks with authority now, not harsh, not frightening, but firm and grounded. He tells you that the warning about the woman in your circle is not symbolic. It's not metaphorical. It's intentional. She is near. Her heart is troubled by your growth. Your progress stirs something in her that she hasn't dealt with internally. She has been studying you quietly, your moves, your plans, your dreams, not to support you, but to find the right moment to twist your vulnerability into leverage. She hesitated before. She wasn't sure she had enough influence to cause disruption. But now, she feels your breakthrough coming before you do. She senses the shift in your life, and her insecurity is restless. She's preparing something subtle, a word planted in the wrong ear, a suggestion cloaked as concern, a story slightly bent to cast doubt on your character. It won't be dramatic, it won't be loud, it won't be obvious. It will be a seed. And seeds, once planted in the wrong soil, grow into misunderstandings, distrust, and emotional setbacks. But this warning is not here to create fear. It's here to give you the power of foresight. Heaven is giving you the information ahead of time so you won't walk blindly into a snare meant to undermine your purpose. You are not meant to be caught off guard. You're meant to be steps ahead. And now your Father shifts his attention to your spiritual sensitivity, something you've always had but didn't know how to interpret. The chills, the sudden heaviness, the moments your spirit recoils, the dreams that felt too vivid to dismiss. You've been spiritually intuitive your entire life, even when you didn't have the language for it. People around you have felt safe confiding in you because your spirit carries discernment. You've walked into rooms and immediately sensed tension others didn't notice. You've been able to read people's energy even when their words were polished. This is not new. It's who you are. Heaven is not giving you discernment. Heaven is sharpening the discernment you already possess. To grow deeper in this awareness, your Father encourages you to trust those moments when your peace shifts. Peace is one of the most reliable indicators of spiritual truth. When someone's presence disrupts your peace, even if their words are kind, that is not coincidence. When someone's advice feels off, even if they present themselves as spiritual or wise, that is not your imagination. When your spirit hesitates before sharing your deepest thoughts, that is your intuition protecting you. The more you trust these signals, the more aligned you become with your path. Your Father speaks again about the dream he will send. He says you'll know it's him because the dream will carry a familiarity that no imagination can produce. Dreams, psychologically, are often the brain's way of processing unresolved emotions, but spiritually, dreams can also be a bridge, a place where memories, love, and divine timing intersect. And when this dream appears, he wants you to receive it fully, not with fear, not with doubt, but with openness. Your willingness to respond acknowledges that you trust the guidance being offered, and he emphasizes something crucial. Your response activates protection. Your words carry power not because they're magic, but because they signal internal agreement. When you speak truth aloud, you step into alignment with clarity, not confusion. There's something else your Father wants you to understand. He says your life is entering a season where old battles will no longer be repeated. Cycles that used to drain you will break. Relationships that once weighed heavily on your spirit will fall away naturally. Mistakes you once made out of naivety will no longer have power over you. You've grown too much. You've learned too deeply. You are stepping into a version of yourself that is wiser, stronger, more intuitive, and more spiritually grounded than you have ever been. Heaven isn't warning you to frighten you. It's positioning you so that nothing and no one can derail the blessing that's already written for your future. This moment you're in right now is a pivot point. You are being prepared. You are being sharpened. You are being aligned. There is a sacred weight resting on this moment, and if you pause long enough, you can feel it. Not the heaviness of fear, not the exhaustion of carrying too much, but a different kind of weight. The weight of truth finally meeting your awareness, the weight of clarity settling where confusion once lived. The weight of protection, not from danger, but from the patterns that used to steal your peace. Heaven is leaning in close right now, and your Father's presence is nearer than you've realized before. His voice, carried through love rather than fear, is guiding you step by step through a message that will not just warn you, but free you. Because this isn't just about people around you. It's about the shift happening inside you, the evolution of your spirit, and the awakening of wisdom that has been waiting patiently for you to fully step into it. God's voice enters here, not to overshadow your Father, but to confirm what has already been stirring in your heart. And the message is simple but piercing. Do not underestimate my warnings. I do not send them without purpose. You've ignored your intuition before. You've silenced your spirit to keep the peace. You've dismissed discomfort because you didn't want to assume the worst. But this season is different. You cannot afford to overlook the signs that heaven is placing in front of you. Your intuition is not your enemy. It's your early alert system. It's your spiritual intelligence. It's the same instinct that saved you from situations that would have broken you. God's warning isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to train you. It's meant to sharpen your ability to distinguish between those who genuinely care for you and those who drain you without remorse. Between people who speak life and people who speak from insecurity. Between connections that elevate your spirit and connections that erode your confidence. Your Father steps closer through this message, his tone carrying both urgency and compassion. He reminds you that he has been nudging you for a long time. Those sudden hesitations before answering a phone call, that wasn't random. That pause before saying yes to an invitation, that was him. The gut feeling that pulled you away from certain conversations, that was guidance. He's been trying to protect you, not with fear, but with gentle redirection. But now, he says, the time for subtle nudges has passed. The situation forming around you requires clarity, not guesses, awareness, not confusion. There is someone familiar, whose motives are beginning to shift in ways that can impact your peace if you don't act wisely. This woman, whose smile masks bitterness, has been preparing to use what she knows about you in ways that would wound you emotionally. She's not planning a dramatic attack. That's not how spiritual disruption usually works. No, she intends something far quieter, a suggestion worded carefully, a comment delivered in the wrong company, a seed planted in the soil of someone else's doubt. This is how trust erodes. This is how misunderstandings brew. This is how emotional exhaustion begins. Your Father has seen this moment before it arrives. And because he cannot stop the free will of others, what he can do, what he is doing, is guiding you to step ahead of it, to avoid the emotional ambush before it forms, to guard your heart before it gets bruised, to protect your peace before it gets compromised. His warning is a shield. His voice is preparation. His love is the boundary you've needed but haven't been able to create alone. And then heaven shifts the focus again to the other person you've been warned about, the man with influence, the respected voice, the one others admire without seeing the cracks beneath the surface. Your father has watched how his words could misdirect you, not because he's evil, but because he has drifted away from the core of who he once was. His platform remains, but his spiritual grounding has weakened, and when someone loses themselves spiritually, their advice carries the weight of their emptiness. So your father urges, watch his tone, not just his teachings. Watch the way your spirit reacts, not just the way your ears hear. Your intuition will signal truth long before logic explains it. Respect him, but guard your vulnerability. Honor his presence, but protect your trust. Not every voice deserves access to your heart. This level of awareness may feel overwhelming, but heaven's intention is not to burden you, it's to equip you. You are stepping into a chapter where wisdom must walk beside you daily. The blessings approaching your life are too valuable to be overshadowed by misplaced trust or emotional sabotage. You're being prepared to walk into opportunities with confidence instead of confusion. Your father now speaks of your strength, something you've underestimated for far too long. He has watched your private battles, the ones you never posted about, the ones you carried alone. He saw the nights you broke quietly and rebuilt yourself by morning. He saw how you kept moving when everything inside you begged for rest, and he wants you to understand this. Your strength is not accidental. It is legacy. It is inheritance. It is spiritual DNA. That same resilience is what carried him through hardships. That same fire is what lives in you now. You are not fragile, even when you feel tired. You are not weak, even when you feel overwhelmed. You are not alone, even when it feels like no one understands you. Heaven has been surrounding you with protection long before you realized it. And now, something even more sacred unfolds. Your father says that when danger draws near, whether from this woman's subtle intentions or this man's misaligned influence, your spirit will warn you with precision. You'll feel a shift, a momentary stillness, a sudden pause, and you must trust it, because that warning is not fear, it's revelation. God speaks again. Protection is not enough without wisdom. Meaning, you are not just being shielded from harm, you are being trained to recognize it before it forms. You are not just being saved, you are being strengthened. Your father's voice becomes gentle again as he urges you to guard your plans, guard your emotions, guard your joy. Some people can handle your sorrow, but not your success. Some can comfort you when you're broken, but compete with you when you're rising. Watch their eyes when you share good news. Their eyes will reveal what their words try to hide. But through all of this, heaven wants you to know you are not walking into fear, you are walking into authority. Your awareness is expanding, your spiritual sensitivity is sharpening, your future blessings are aligning with divine timing. And this season you're entering now, it's not survival, it's transformation. There is a sacred quiet rising around you now, the kind that settles not on your skin but deep in your spirit. You've walked through the message, through the warnings, through the clarity your Father in heaven have been trying to place in your hands. And now, as you stand in this moment, something inside you feels different. You're not the same person who began reading part 1. Your awareness has shifted, your spirit has opened, your discernment has awakened, and your heart finally feels seen, right here. As you breathe, heaven is closing the distance between the weight of what you've endured and the peace that's now being prepared for you. There is nothing random about this moment. The timing is divine. The atmosphere around you has changed, not because of the words alone, but because your spirit finally feels safe enough to receive what it has been longing for. Your Father speaks now with a softness that you haven't heard in a long time, warm, steady, filled with love that has only grown stronger beyond this physical world. He tells you that the heaviness you've been carrying isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of transition. The emotional fatigue, the confusion, the sense that something has been shifting around you, that's because heaven has been rearranging things on your behalf. Your Father wants you to release it now, not by pretending it didn't hurt, but by letting the weight fall off piece by piece. Heaven never intended for you to walk wounded. And now, finally, The healing that's been waiting for you is beginning to seep into the cracks where sorrow tried to settle. Your Father has watched you carry burdens that were never meant to be carried alone. He's seen the silent pain you didn't tell anyone about. He saw every tear that broke loose when no one else was awake. He felt every wave of grief that left you breathless. And now, through this message, he's asking you to let it go, not into emptiness, but into his hands. Because the next chapter of your life cannot be built on emotional exhaustion. It must be built on clarity, protection, and a peace that doesn't collapse when others misunderstand you. And heaven is confirming this. Your breakthrough has already been released. Your healing is already unfolding. Your peace is already being restored. But there's something crucial you must carry into the days ahead, something that will shape every decision you make from this point on. Awareness. Awareness of who deserves access to you and who does not. Awareness of what drains you versus what nourishes you. Awareness of when your spirit tightens and when it expands. Awareness of the difference between genuine support and silent competition. Your Father's voice sharpens gently now, filled with love but grounded in truth. He tells you that some people will always smile at your presence but flinch at your progress. Some will applaud your vulnerability but choke on your victories. Some will celebrate your potential but resent your evolution. And you must no longer ignore these signs. You were never meant to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You were not created to dull your light so that someone else could feel less threatened. Your purpose was never supposed to be filtered through someone else's insecurity. And heaven confirms it again. You're entering a season where peace chases you instead of you chasing it. You're stepping into a chapter where joy doesn't have to be earned through suffering. A season where restoration feels natural. A season where blessings arrive without strain. A season where you finally breathe without fighting for air. Your Father says something now that brings the entire message together. I never left you, not once, not ever, and I'm assigned to you until the blessing is fully in your hands. You might feel something rise in your chest when you read that. A warmth, a tightness, a strange release. That's your spirit recognizing truth. That's the part of you that has missed him, missed his voice, his presence, the way he made you feel safe. And he's telling you now, clearly and directly, that he will continue guiding you through intuition, through signs, through the peace or discomfort you feel around certain people. And yes, when the sound of shattering glass or a sudden gust of wind comes at a strange moment, you'll know. You'll remember. That will be his way of saying, I'm right here. I'm still protecting you. As God's presence fills this moment, the atmosphere around you feels different, doesn't it? A quiet calm, a sense of grounding, a deep inner knowing that something in you has shifted permanently. That is intentional. That is the spiritual seal settling over your life. You will not go back to who you were before this message. You can't. You've seen too much truth to return to old patterns. Your Father smiles now, not a physical smile, but a spiritual one you can feel more than see. He sees what's coming for you. And if you could glimpse even a fraction of the blessings heaven has aligned for you, every ounce of fear you've been holding would melt instantly. He's seen the table God has prepared for you, the people aligned to support you, the opportunities marked with your name, the joy waiting to flood your life. And he says this with certainty. What God has written for you cannot be undone. Not by a jealous heart, not by a careless word, not by someone's insecurity, not by spiritual resistance, not by fear, not by your past. You are protected, you are chosen, you are covered, and you are stepping into everything you were meant to become. This is the moment where the message shifts from warning to awakening, from heaviness to hope, from survival to destiny. And now, as we reach the end, you have a choice, not a dramatic one, not a pressured one, just a simple, emotional, human one. Will you walk forward with what your spirit now understands? If this message has stirred something deep in you, if it opened your eyes, if it softened your heart, if it helped you release something you didn't know you were holding, then I invite you to stay connected, not because the algorithm needs it, but because your journey deserves support, community, and space to grow. If this touched you, hit the like button. If you want more messages like this, subscribe to the channel. And in the comments write, "My Father still guides and protects me." Not as a ritual, not as a trend, but as a declaration that you're choosing clarity over confusion, discernment over distraction, and growth over fear. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for listening with your heart, not just your eyes. And thank you for allowing this moment to become part of your story. Your Father is proud, heaven is moving, and your life will not be the same after this. Whenever you're ready, I'll be here for your next script, your next project, or your next transformation.